A pleasant greetings, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good day. And I would also like to say thank you for being with us here today. So let me introduce myself. I am your moderator, Shaira Gail Nemenso, a financial student at St. Peter's College, and I'm together with Mr. Baha. So the panelists will be discussing regulatory changes in the Philippines. So the format for today's sessions will include a brief explanation and followed by a Q&A. First panelist will begin with a 5 to 10 minutes presentation, after which we will open the floor for questions and panel from the panel and audience. So I encourage everyone to engage thoughtfully and supportively as we delve into this panel defense. So constructive dialogue is a key to enriching our understanding of the topic. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Lyra Lindon. Without a further ado, I'll hand over to Ms. Dawn to begin with a presentation.
All right. Thank you for that brief introduction, Miss Shara Imenza. Anyway, pleasant greetings to each and everyone. Let's begin our brief explanation about our topic, regulatory changes. So, when we say regulatory changes, it refers to modifications or updates in laws, rules, or guidelines that govern how various sectors operate. These changes can affect businesses, organizations, and individuals, shaping compliance requirements and operational practices.
Additionally, regulatory changes have lot of purposes. It is often implemented to enhance public safety and health, protect the environment, promote fair competition, and improve our economic conditions. There is also a lot of types of regulatory changes, like the new regulations, which introduce a new laws or rules to address emerging issues or needs. Amendments, which changes made to existing rules to improve clarity, effectiveness, or enforcement. And the repeals means the elimination of outdated or ineffective regulations.
I would also like to add that there are a lot of sources of regulatory changes like government agencies, such as national or local agencies, can introduce regulations based on legislative mandates. The other one is the legislative bodies or new laws passed by Congress or local councils can lead to regulatory changes. Judicial decisions can also be a source of regulatory changes, or court rulings can influence or necessitate changes in regulations.
That's a great introduction, panelist. But before we proceed to the question and answer, panelists, can you please introduce yourself one by one? A brief or short introduction will be just fine. Thank you.
My apologies for not introducing ourselves earlier. I'm Niralyn Shal Don, a BSBA Financial Management student in St. Peter's College, together with my colleague.
A pleasant day to you, our moderators, and my co-panelists. I am Honey Glaze Alquizar from the field of marketing management. I am honored to have been given a chance to share my thoughts about the topic of regulatory changes.
Good day, everyone. I'm Mariel Cañete Lanza, and a financial student in St. Peter's College.
Good day, everyone. My name is Alexa Shaney Camaso, a business management in financial management.
Good day, everyone. I'm Christine Jane Malubay, Business Administration major in Financial Management in St. Peter's College.
Good day, everyone. I am Giselle Niralao from the SBA major in Financial Management.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ana Ludi Rabor. I am financial student in St. Peter's College.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ella Hassan, a business administration major in marketing management, a third year college in St. Peter's College.
Good day, everyone. My name is Hanifa Wadia from Business Administration, Marketing Management.
So now that we already know our panelist name, we may now proceed to question and answer. Ms. Camaso, would you mind explaining what drives regulatory changes? The landscape of regulatory change is influenced by several factors, including technological advancement, economic shift, and social movements. Could you also discuss how technological advancements have impact financial regulations?
Certainly, the rise of vintage and cryptocurrencies has revolutionized the financial landscape, prompting regulators to rethink traditional framework from instant innovation in blockchains. Technology have stated new regulatory approaches to ensure consumer protection without stifling innovation. Regulators are increasingly focusing on creating adaptable frameworks that can respond to rapid changes in technology.
Thank you, Miss Camaso. All right, Miss Malubay, from your perspective, how do social movements influence healthcare regulations?
From my own perspective, social movements play a critical role in shaping healthcare policies. Activism for equity and access has led to transformative legislation, like the Affordable Care Act. Recent movement advocating for mental health and affordable medications are pressuring regulators to address gaps in access and affordability. These movements often serve as catalysts for regulatory changes that prioritize patient rights and public health.
That's valuable perspective. Now let me call Ms. Hinoralao. Could you please tell us the impact of globalization on environmental regulations?
Sure, globalization has significantly heightened awareness of environmental issues, necessitating international cooperation. Agreements like the Paris Accord compel nations to adopt more stringent regulations. This can create a regulatory race to the top, where countries strive to outdo each other in sustainability efforts. However, it has also poses challenges for local businesses trying to comply with diverse international standards.
Thank you for that. Panelists Rabor and Misoson, why do you think regulatory changes is important, or is it really important? I'm calling Mrs. Rabor. Can you please explain why changes is important, or is it really important?
Regulatory changes are vital because they create rules that help protect people and the environment. For example, when new products come out, regulations ensure they are safe to use. Without these rules, companies might prioritize profit over safety, which could put consumers at risk. Regulation also help level the playing field, meaning that all businesses have to follow the same rules. This fairness encourages healthy competition and innovation, which can lead to better products and services for everyone.
To add to that, Ms. Rabor, regulatory changes also help keep up with advancement in technology. As new technology emerge, regulations must adapt to ensure they are used safely and responsibly. For instance, this rise the internet brought new challenges like online privacy. New regulations were needed to protect people's personal information. If we didn't update our laws, we could end up in situation where people data is misused or abused. So, their changes are crucial for protecting both consumer and integrity of our system.
Thank you so much, panelists. Now for our next question. Ms. Wadia, can you explain how these regulatory changes are typically made?
Sure. The process of making regulatory changes often start with gathering feedback from the community and businesses. These inputs help lawmakers understand what issues are out there and what changes might be needed. After collecting feedback, regulators draft a propose for new rules. Then they usually hold a public comment period where people can express their opinions on the proposed changes. This is an important step because it allows citizens and businesses to have a regulation that affect them. Once all comments are reviewed, lawmakers can finalize the regulations and put them into effect.
To support that matter, it's important to note that this process can take time. Sometimes, changes can happen quickly, especially if there's a pressing issue. However, many regulations require lengthy discussions and revisions to ensure they are effective and fair. This deliberation is crucial as it allows for a thorough examination of the potential impacts of the changes. It also ensures that various perspectives are considered, which can help avoid unintended consequences later on.
All right. So I have questions for Ms. Alcazar and Lansang. What are some recent regulatory changes that have caught your attention?
Well, some recent regulatory changes that caught my attention is the data privacy laws. With the growth of online services, many countries are updating their rules to protect consumer data better. For example, in Europe, the General Data Protection Regulation or GDPR sets strict guidelines on how companies can collect and use personal information. This law has made businesses more accountable, requiring them to be transparent about data collection and give users more control over their information. It has inspired similar regulations in other parts of the world, showing how important data protection is in our digital age.
Panelist, Lansang, would you add to it?
Uh, yes. Furthermore, another area of change is environmental regulations. Many governments are introducing stricter rules to combat climate change. These regulations often focus on reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting renewable energy sources. For example, some countries have set targets for reducing emissions over the next decade. These changes not only help the environment but also create new jobs in green technology sectors. This shows that regulatory changes can drive both environmental benefits and economic growth.
Thank you so much, to our panelists, Ms. Alcazar and Ms. Lansang. So for our next question, I'd like to ask Ms. Camaso and Ms. Malubay on what their thoughts about how do these regulatory changes impact businesses.
So, regulatory changes can significantly impact how businesses operate. When new regulations are introduced, companies often have to adjust their practices. This can involve investing in new technologies or training employees to comply with new rules. While this may seem like challenge, it can also lead to positive outcomes. For instance, by adopting more sustainable practices, business can improve their reputation and attract more customers who value environmentally and friendly practices.
Additionally, businesses that adapt quickly to regulatory changes can gain a competitive edge. For example, if a company invests in compliance before others do, they may establish themselves as a leader in their industry. This proactive approach can foster customer loyalty and improve their market position. However, it's crucial for businesses to stay informed about regulatory changes so they can plan accordingly.
All right. So I have a question for Ms. Hiniralao and Rabor. What are the challenges do business face with these regulatory changes?
One of the biggest challenges is that small business may struggle to keep up. Unlike larger companies, they often have limited resources to devote to compliance. This can make it difficult for them to adapt to new rules. Additionally, frequent changes can create confusion. Businesses may not always understand the new requirements, leading to unintentional violations.
I agree to you, Ms. Hinralao. So, another challenge is the potential for increased cost. Complying with new regulations often requires businesses to invest in new systems or processes, which can strain their finances. However, it is essential for companies to view compliance as an investment in their future. In the long run, adhering to regulations can lead to operational efficiencies and better risk management.
Thank you so much, panelists. Now for our next question. So, how can people and businesses stay updated on regulatory changes?
Thank you for that, Ms. Namansa. Staying informed is crucial. One effective way is to subscribe to industry newsletters or regulatory updates. These sources often provide timely information about changes that affect specific sectors. Additionally, attending workshops and webinars can be helpful. This event often features experts discussing new regulations and their implications.
Also, engaging with professional associations is another great way to stay connected. Many associations provide resources and training on navigating regulatory changes. They also create forums for businesses to discuss common challenges and share best practices. This sense of community can be incredibly beneficial for companies trying to adapt.
All right. So I have a question that what are the key components of regulatory change management framework?
Actually, there's a lot of key components of regulatory change management framework. For example, the identification of regulations. The first step in our regulatory change management framework is identifying which laws and regulations affect the organization. This includes understanding local, national, and international rules that apply to your industry. Keeping track of these regulations can help ensure that the organization stay compliant and avoids penalties.
Second would be impact assessment. Once regulations are identified, the next step is to assess how these changes will impact the organization. This involves analyzing areas like operations, finances, and employee roles. Understanding the potential effects helps prioritize actions and allocate resources effectively.
All right. I would like to hear from Miss Lansang. Are you there? I guess Miss Lansang isn't available right now. So can someone explain what is communication?
Well, I'd like to add to that. For communication plan, a clear communication plan is essential for informing all stakeholders about the regulatory changes. This includes employees, management, and external partners. Effective communication ensures everyone understands the changes and their responsibilities, promoting a smooth transition.
All right. Miss Camaso, can you add how about training and development, Miss Camaso?
Okay, so training and development to adapt to new regulation, organization need to provide training for their employees. This helps staff understand the new requirements and how to implement them in their daily tasks. Ongoing education it's important to keep everyone updated as a regulation involved.
Fifth is the implementation strategy. So, an implementation strategy outlines how the organization will put new regulations into practice. This includes setting timelines, assigning responsibilities, and establishing processes. A well defined strategy ensures that changes are executed effectively and on schedule.
Monitoring and review. After implementing changes, it's crucial to monitor their effectiveness. This involves regularly reviewing processes and gathering feedback to ensure compliance and efficiency. Continuous monitoring helps identify any issues early and allows for timely adjustments.
So the next key components is documentation. Proper documentation of all regulatory changes, assessments, and training is vital. They serve as a record that the organization is compliant and provides evidence during accountability within the organization.
Thank you so much, panelists. As we approach the end of our discussion, I'd like to ask one more question on how can business view regulatory changes positively?
Thank you again, Ms. Nemensa. Viewing regulatory changes as opportunities rather than obstacles is key. Embracing these changes can drive innovations and improvement. Companies that see regulations as a chance to enhance their practices may develop better products and services. For example, regulations that promote sustainability can lead to new business models that are both profitable and environmentally friendly.
Thank you, Ms. Suson. Collaboration with regulators can also yield positive outcomes. Businesses that engage with regulatory bodies can help shape rules that work for everyone. This cooperation can result in regulation that practical and effective, ultimately benefiting both businesses and consumers.
It enlightens me. Thank you for that, panelist. I have any final thoughts on how to approach regulatory changes, Miss Dawn?
Uh, My thoughts about how to approach regulatory changes is by staying proactive is essential. By keeping informed and being flexible, businesses can navigate changes more smoothly. Companies should view compliance as a way to build trust with their customers and enhance their reputation.
Well, to add to that, let's not forget that regulatory changes can lead to greater market stability. They often provide a framework that promotes fair competition and protects consumers, which ultimately benefits the entire economy.
Thank you all for your valuable insight today. Regulatory changes may be complex, but with the right information and approach, we can navigate them effectively. Am I right, Mr. Baha?
I totally agree with that, Ms. Nemenzo. And also, as we come to the conclusion of today's panel defense, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each of our panelists for their invaluable contributions and insights. Your expertise has not only enriched our understanding, but has also sparked some critical discussions that I hope to continue beyond this session. To our audience, thank you for your thoughtful questions and active participations. Your engagement has truly made this event collaborative effort. And it's clear that the passion of the topic runs deep among us.
As we wrap up, I encourage you to reflect on the ideas shared today. Whether it's a new strategies, different viewpoints, or inspiring stories, let's carry these lessons forward in our own work and communities. If you have further thoughts or would like to connect with our panelists, don't hesitate to reach out. Remember, the conversation doesn't have to end here. So thank you once again for being part of the experience. Wishing you all a great day ahead.
Thanks,